Our people are the Quechua. In this presentation, we will use the 5 themes of geography to teach you about the Quechuan people.
These 5 themes include environment, population, culture, geopolitics, and economy.
The Quechuan are a group of indigenous people who originate in South America.
The Quechuans live in the Andes Highlands, which is along the Andes Mountains. They have been in this area since about the 15th century. Before the Spanish came over, they inhabited most of Ecuador and Peru and parts of Bolivia and Argentina, as seen in the blue. The Spanish came over around the 1500s and took out many of the native people living in South America. Today, the Quechuans live in regions of Peru, Ecuador, and Bolivia. These regions are shown in pink.
Environment. Since they live in different areas of the highlands, they have different climates. In the valleys, there is rich soil, access to water, which is great for farming. The picture at the bottom shows the farming practices. Higher in the central Andes, the soil is poor, with strong wind and a cold climate, and the other picture depicts this. This is a climate zone map. The circles depict the areas in which the Quechuan live. The climate in these regions is mainly highlands and in some areas tropical wet. Population. Like before, the Quechua do not live in one area or country. They make up about 46% of Peru's population, 25% of Ecuador, and about 30% of Bolivia. The fertility rate is about 51 live births per 1,000 people. Literacy rate, since the Quechuan are not a very developed group of people, we don't have much information on this. We do know that the women and men speak Quechua. The men also know Spanish from working in bigger cities, and most families actually want children to learn Spanish. This is a population density map. The 3 areas circled are again where the Quechua live. The first circle is Ecuador. Not many Quechua inhabit this area. They live in the white area of that circle. The second circle is Peru. There are about 104 people per square mile. And the last circle is Bolivia. Not as many people as Peru, but definitely more than Ecuador. Culture. One thing that makes the Quechua unique is their dependence upon potatoes. They are often referred to as guardians of the potato. It is their most basic food supply. Uses are food, illness treatment, cultural practices, and trade. An example of a cultural practice is marriage. If a man wants to marry a woman, the man's mother must present the bride-to-be a potato. She must then carve the potato, and if she takes off too much or messes it up, she's not allowed to marry the son. An example of trade is farmers who live at higher elevations grow these potatoes. They will then trade them for corn and other crops that the farmers at lower elevations grow. As seen here, there's about 2,800 different types of potatoes that originate in Peru. It is said that the Quechua have little sickness due to they have a different type of potato for each sickness. Next we have a short video that just depicts them about to prepare some potatoes. You can see their clothing here, long sleeves and pants for the cold weather. So again, just a short little video of the Quechua doing what they do best. garden some potatoes. Geopolitics. The Quechua are a non-state nation, which means they're a group of people who don't have a set country for themselves. The Peruvian government formed the Instituto Nacional de Desarrollo de los Pueblos Andinos, Amazónicas y Afro-Peruanos, which means National Institute of Development of Andean, Amazonian, and Afro-Peruvians. This is a multicultural institution. They have many different representatives from all of the different cultural groups in Peru, and they come together and they have a meeting about whose land is whose and all that sort of stuff. And recently, the Quechuan elected a representative for this institution. However, even though they have a representative, they don't have much say in the meetings. They have come before them with many ideas of them having certain areas to call their own, but have been shot down nearly every time. Economy. The Quechuan are very poor people and are considered to be developing. They mostly rely on farming and trade for their income. The women are the basis of the agricultural part of their lives. The women tend to the livestock, they tend to the farms, they clean the house, they take care of the children, they do all these busy things while the men go out and find jobs for their families to make more money. Since the men are out, the women need help with, everyday things. So the children also help a lot with the farming. Women also make bracelets and take all their food to a daily market or a weekly market and sell them for a couple extra dollars. So in conclusion, our people are the Quechua. They are the largest group of indigenous people of the Americas today. They live in South America, in the Andes Mountains, in the Andes Highlands. They are poor. They're a very poor group of people. They are said to be developing. Once again, they live off the land, they farm, agriculture. The women do most of the work so that the men can go find other jobs for higher pay. They live in Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. Their climate is mainly highland climate. They rely a lot on potatoes. And that's it. So, thank you.
Have a nice day.